Hello guys and welcome back to another video. And in today's video we're going to talk about the top 5 best REITs to buy for 2024. And as you most likely know, then has 2023 been a really rough year for the real estate sector, and it has been one of the worst performing sectors within the S&P 500 index. However, real estate has finally crossed the line and has now given investors a positive return of almost 6% year to date. Primary reasons for the bad performance this year is the rapid increase in the interest rates. That does have a very big impact on REITs that are relying heavily on debt. However, things are finally starting to look brighter for 2024. Since they have had a really bad year, then for us investors, we right now have the opportunity to buy REITs at very good valuations. And that is exactly why I've made today's video, where we'll be talking about the top 5 REITs to buy for 2024. But before we get to that, then in case you're new to the channel, then my name is Casper, and here we strictly talk about investing and financial freedom. So if you really like investing and you want to retire early, well then press that subscribe button below. And also guys, please leave a comment below the video on which stocks you're looking to buy for 2024. It would be really interesting to hear your thoughts as well. So going straight into the first one on my list, and here we have the monthly dividend king, Realty Income Corp, ticker symbol O. And you can't really do a top REIT video without mentioning this one. It is a massive REIT that has more than 13,000 properties under management and a really high occupancy rate of almost 99%. And they have more than 1,300 different customers, and they are operating within 85 different industries. And when looking at their top customers, we do also see some very familiar names like Dollar General, 7-Eleven, Dollar Tree, FedEx, and so on. And a couple of months ago, Realty Income Corp bought another REIT called Spirit Realty for $9.3 billion. And that is going to expand their real estate portfolio even further. Realty Income currently has a share price of almost $58. And when looking at their year-to-date performance, well then we do see that they have had a really bad year and they are down by more than 9% year-to-date. So it is pretty safe to say that Realty Income Corp has had a really bad year. However, it gives us investors a great opportunity to buy this company at a very good valuation. However, as I mentioned before, then is this company right here also being referred to as the monthly dividend king. And it is one of us dividend investors' favorite companies. So let's just have a look at their dividends. And they currently have a dividend yield of 5.44%, and that is absolutely amazing. They also have a payout ratio sitting at 74%. And even though I would usually say that this is a really high number, then for a REIT it is completely normal. They also have a 5-year growth rate of 3.76%. And even though that is not completely amazing, then it is still very good when considering that they already have a very high dividend yield. They are also one of the 3 dividend aristocrats amongst REITs, and they have consistently been increasing their dividends for the last 25 years in a row. And if you don't already own this stock here, then I would highly recommend you to look further into it. It is one of my personal favorite dividend stocks. So moving on to the second REIT on my list, and here we have Prologis, ticker symbol PLD. This is another very popular REIT, and it is the largest warehouse and industrial REIT on the market. It is also a company that has benefited a lot from the rapid growth in e-commerce from companies like Amazon and Shopify. And e-commerce is expected to grow even more going forward, and they are expected to grow by 1% point for the next 5 years. It is a sector that requires a lot of warehousing for storing their products, but it also requires a lot of industrial buildings. So having a growing e-commerce sector is very important for Prologis. And they currently have a share price of $137, and when looking at their year-to-date performance, well then they are actually up by 21%, and that makes this one of the best performing REITs during the last year. However, because of the rapid growth in e-commerce, then is Prologis expected to grow even more going forward. And when looking at their dividends, well then we do see that they are very good at that as well, as they currently have a dividend yield sitting at 2.69% and a really high 5-year growth rate of almost 13%. And they have consistently been increasing this dividend for the last 9 years in a row. It is not very often that you see a REIT with both a decent dividend yield and a really high growth rate in their dividends as well. Prologis has been one of the best performing REITs during 2023, and it wouldn't surprise me if it was one of the top performers during 2024 as well, and that makes it a company to look out for. So moving on to the third REIT on my list, and here we have Vici Properties, ticker symbol VICI. And this is a REIT that I'm personally very excited about, and one that I have been looking at for a long time. And it is the largest landlord on the Las Vegas Strip, where they own famous buildings like Caesar Palace, New York, MGM Grand, and many others. It is a relatively new REIT that was founded back in 2017 as a spin-off, and they currently have 53 casinos, bunch of hotels, racetracks, and golf courses all around the United States and in Canada as well. And they currently have a share price of almost $32. And when looking at their performance during 2023, well, then we do see that they are up by 0.5%, which is essentially nothing. And that makes it a perfect candidate going into 2024. However, let's take a look at their dividends, because they do have some amazing dividend stats, with a dividend yield of 5.26% and a 5-year growth rate of more than 17%, and that is absolutely insane. And this is definitely one of the REITs with the fastest growing dividend out there. And they have also consistently been increasing their dividends for the last 4 years in a row. And even though that might not sound very impressive, then keep in mind that the company was founded back in 2017. So it is a relatively new company as well. Overall, then is this a very exciting REIT that own some very iconic assets, and they have been growing their dividends at a really fast pace. And it is definitely one to look out for going into 2024. So moving on to the fourth REIT on my list, and here we have Agree Realty, ticker symbol ADC. A lot of people are looking at this REIT as the smaller sibling to Realty Income Corp, as there is a lot of similarities between the two. However, this one is a lot smaller. But one of the things that they do have in common is that they both went public back in 1994. And when looking at the company's portfolio, we do see that their top tenants are companies like Walmart, Dollar General, Dollar Tree, Lowe's, and so on. A lot of the names on this list are the exact same ones as you saw for Realty Income Corp. So they do have a lot of the same customers lending their buildings. And Agree Realty currently has a share price of $62. And when looking at their performance during 2023, well, then we do see that they are down by 12%. So they have also suffered a substantial loss, just like Realty Income Corp did during this year. And that gives us investors a great opportunity to buy the stock at a very attractive valuation. However, let's have a look at their dividends. And here does this company not disappoint either, as they do have a dividend yield sitting at 4.79%, and they have a 5-year growth rate of 6.5%. And that is very good when considering that they already have a very high dividend yield. And they have also consistently been increasing their dividends for the last 3 years in a row. Overall, then is Agree Realty a very good REIT. They are very consistent when it comes to their dividends, and they do have a very nice dividend yield. And right now, then is the share price also at a very good place for us investors. And since this is a smaller company, then there is also a lot of room for growing in the future. And that makes this company very interesting going forward. So the fifth and last REIT on my list is Crown Castle, ticker symbol CCI. And this is the largest telecommunication REIT there is. But there has been some big changes for this company during 2023. And the biggest one is definitely that their CEO has just stepped down, and the activist Elliott Management has just stepped in. And they have just announced a 50-page report detailing all of the changes that are about to happen and why they are necessary for Crown Castle. The company has a big portfolio of cell towers and fiber operations that they are leasing out to tenants like Verizon, AT&T, 3M, and so on. And they currently have a share price of $114. And when looking at their performance year to date, well, then they are down by more than 17%. This is definitely the most risky one on my list today. They have just changed their CEO, and they are about to make a lot of changes, and we don't really know what is going to happen with these changes and how it is going to impact the company. However, if you are willing to take the risk, well, then you do also have the chance of a great return. But keep in mind that it is definitely a risky one right now. However, I personally have very big expectations for this company going forward. And this company does definitely have some very nice dividend stats as well. And they have a dividend yield that is sitting at 5.46% and a 5-year growth rate of almost 8%. And that is some very solid numbers. And they have also been increasing this dividend for the last 9 years in a row. Overall, then is Crown Castle definitely a very interesting REIT for 2024. However, as I mentioned, then it does also include a bit more risk. But if you are willing to take that risk, well, then you do also have the chance of some great returns. These were basically my top 5 REITs for 2024. If you have anything that you would like to add to the list, then please leave a comment below the video. And I hope that you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, then don't forget to smash the like button below and subscribe to my channel for more weekly content just like this. See you guys in the next one.